In my teenage years, I got really into music. Kind of figured out that that's what was my passion, and I was not a good musician by any means. Just kind of fell into being behind the scenes and working with people, helping them out, and that was kind of what I realized was my way to do this. It kind of just became natural that I had all these contacts and people that I knew, and some friends were starting a record label at the time, and as we just started talking more, they realized I knew more about it than they did. I was 24 years old, they were like 18 and 19. And so they were like, hey, why don't you help us actually start this record label? As soon as I started getting more and more involved in it, I kind of realized yeah, this is what I want to do. I want to take it really seriously and figure out how to turn it into something. So that something is now the Record Machine. I've been doing it since 2003, so for 17 years. Started out strictly just as a record label, putting out CDs for bands. But as time went on, we've now kind of had to see all the different shifts you've seen since 2003, whether it was CDs or digital or vinyl or streaming. We saw all of those changes. We also do a lot of events. So we started the Middle of the Map Fest, founded that, and then also put out on concerts here at the Record Bar and at other venues across Kansas City. So I was kind of, figured out at some point the events could make that more of a reality for me. And, obviously COVID has shifted that quite a bit, but, you persevere and figure out a way. And it's been nice because I am so used to my brain being pulled in a million different ways, and it still is. But just having the record label to focus on and kind of throw my passion back into that fully and not have to split it between doing shows. And I still miss all that greatly. But just having the ability to kind of focus in on one area of my business and be this is what I'm going to do the best right now. When I was kind of starting Middle of the Map, I was at a point in my career where we had a great crop of bands. This is 2010-ish. And we had some really awesome bands, but they weren't getting outside of Kansas City. They were kind of hitting this ceiling. And so I was really trying to figure out how do we get to that next level. And so I was at South by Southwest and was just, hopping around going to shows like you do when you're at South by Southwest, and was really inspired thinking of, we have, venues that are close together, we could do something like this and pull it together and, figure it out. And so that's when I came back and started Middle of the Map. And the whole idea was, we'd have these Kansas City bands or these bands that are on the Record Machine and have them opening up for headlining bands. It became this annual thing that we got to put together in a really cool way to bring people together and provide community, but just letting music be the unifier. In a year that could have been a total bust, I released music from 12 different bands on 17 different releases. The thing that helps us the most is just clicking and listening to songs and telling your friends about it if it's something you like. It's coming to a show, it's buying their merch, and something to show that you love that band. And so it starts as something as simple as just getting online and streaming something. And while nobody loves how much you might make off of streaming, it starts there. And that's just, a simple way to support. That's the concern, definitely of post-pandemic. What does it look like? Because there's going to be a certain amount of land rush because everybody's been locked in their homes for a year, not able to tour, not able to do stuff. So everybody's going to want to get out as quickly as possible. And I think you're going to have a certain amount of overload of things going on. And while that's exciting to the fan, it's definitely going to be interesting to see how can we all make this work.